think RMS needs no introduction, so I'm not giving an introduction about it. Okay?
So, please raise your hands if you cannot hear me. Well, there are no hands, so either everybody can hear me or nobody heard me. Now, I checked what kind of water it is. I was disappointed to find that in the guest house they have Coca-Cola Company water, because I won't drink that. The reason I won't drink it is not because I think it's less safe than any other kind of bottled water. No, it's because there is a worldwide boycott of Coca-Cola Company for murdering union organizers in Colombia and Guatemala. You can find more information in killercoke.org. I hope that the guest house here will be convinced to buy some other kind of bottled water. People should not deal with Coca-Cola Company. I also see that this was opened already. I wonder what kind of water I'm drinking now. Free software. Oh, a couple of other preliminaries. It's fun to take photos of me, but don't put them in Facebook. Facebook mistreats people in many ways. In particular, it asks people to state the names of anyone who appears in photos and tries to figure it out from face recognition too. Well, I don't want Facebook's database to have information about me. So please respect my privacy and don't put photos of me in Facebook. And I hope you'll respect your other friends' privacy and not put photos of them in Facebook. And Facebook is not your friend, so unfriend Facebook today. You shouldn't use Facebook, and I don't. The other thing is, if you'd like to make an audio or video recording, that's okay too. But if you distribute copies, distribute only the OGG formats or WebM, because those are the formats that are friendly to free software. The other formats are more or less harmful, so you shouldn't use them. But I don't insist in general, but when it's a recording of me, don't use Flash, don't use MPEG formats to distribute these recordings. And also, please put on the recording the Creative Commons No Derivatives license, because this is a statement of my own views. It's a misunderstanding. Price is a side issue. We're talking about something far more important. Free software means software that respects freedom and community. So it's free as in freedom, not free as in price. To understand the term free software, think of free speech, not free beer. When a program is not free, we call it non-free software, proprietary, user-subjugating software, because a non-free program creates a system of digital colonization, a system which keeps the users divided and helpless, like any colonial system does. And the users are divided because they're forbidden to redistribute copies. And they're helpless because they don't have the source code. So they can't change the program. They can't even check what it's really doing to them. It's getting painfully hot in here. We need to do something to cool this place off. What can we do? Is there an air conditioning system? Can we open any windows? Please. And these lights also, they're making it even hotter. It's getting to be unbearable here already. What I've said so far is very general. It respects freedom and community. Let me be more specific. When you have a copy of a program, that program for you is free software if it gives you the 4 essential freedoms. Now wait, we want more light on the audience. It's the lights pointing at me that are too bright. They're painful. And they're making it hot over here, too. Gee, maybe I can get out of them a bit like this. But I need more light on the audience, because with these bright lights, I can't see you. And I can't speak as well if I can't see you.
Yes, definitely. But try.
Okay, well, the point is I saw that the light got dimmer on the audience. They tried to fix it, but they did the wrong thing. The 4 essential freedoms are: freedom 0 is the freedom to run the program as you wish. Freedom 1 is the freedom to study the source code and change it so the program does your computing as you wish. Freedom 2 is the freedom to help others. That's the freedom to try to get out of these lights. That's the freedom to redistribute exact copies to others when you wish. And freedom 3 is the freedom to contribute to your community. Thanks. It's good to have a little more light on the audience. But you've got to reduce some of those so that they don't make as much heat. Freedom 3 is the freedom to contribute to your community, which is the freedom to make copies of your modified versions and distribute those to others when you wish. To be adequate, these 4 freedoms have to apply to all activities and areas of life, and to all users that might have a copy of the program. But these 4 things that you must be free to do are not required. They're not compulsory. The point is you're free to do them when you wish. So, freedom 0 is the freedom to run the program as you wish. But it's not required. If you're a masochist, you can run the program as you don't wish. And you're also free not to run the program. Freedom 1 is the freedom to study and change the source code, but it's not required. You can get a copy and run it without looking at anything. Freedom 2 is the freedom to make exact copies and distribute them, but you're never required to do this. The point is, you should be allowed to do this when you choose to do it. You don't have to give a copy to anybody in particular. We don't tell you to. And freedom 3 is the freedom to distribute copies of your modified versions. But it's not required. You can make a modified version and use it yourself privately without ever distributing it. So, if a program comes with the 4 freedoms, then it's free software because the social system of its distribution and use is an ethical system, one that respects freedom and community. But if one of these freedoms is missing or partly missing, then the program is proprietary because it imposes an unethical social system on its users. Thus, the distinction between free software and proprietary software is not a technical question. It's not about what jobs the program does. It's not about how it does those jobs. It's not about how the code was written. It is an ethical, social, and political distinction, which is why it's so important, more important than any technical distinction. Technical issues you can leave to the technicians doing the job. But these issues are really important for whoever uses the software. They directly affect whoever uses the software in terms of how that user can live. The use of free software in society is development. Because that program embodies knowledge. The light is getting too bright over there. It's hard for me to keep my eyes open. And if my eyes shut, I may fall asleep, and you may not get any more talk. So the free software embodies knowledge, which is available to the users for them to understand, maintain, adapt, extend, and then use in other ways. But the use of a proprietary program is not development, it's dependence. Forced dependence on one particular party, the program's developer. That is a social problem. We should aim to get rid of the use of proprietary software, to put an end to it. To write a free program is a contribution to society. How much of a contribution, that depends on the details. But at least it's being distributed in such a way that it can contribute to society. But to write a proprietary program is not a contribution, because it's a power grab. It's an attempt to subjugate other people. If the program has attractive features, those are the bait for the trap. Paradoxically, in this case, they don't make it better. They make it more harmful, because more people will surrender their freedom to become users of that program and be stuck in the trap. So, if you have the choice to either write a proprietary program or do nothing at all, you should do nothing at all, because that way you don't do any harm. Of course, there may be other things you could do in your life instead of either of those. They may be better than doing nothing. But in any case, you have at least the opportunity to do nothing and do no harm. So, writing a proprietary program is never what you should do. And the goal of the free software movement is that all programs be free, so that all the users of these programs can be free. But what makes these four freedoms essential? Why define free software this way? Each freedom has a reason.